50 racks for 5 months, 50 games, but you still got the opportunity to be a two-way player and move up. Well, no, you got to still be 1 year, so you can't move up. But you still got the opportunity to get to the NBA after that, and you can make yourself 50 racks, and you don't have to go to school because you didn't want to go to school in the first place. That might change the game. That might change the game a little bit for some players. They already are looking at college as, this whole one and done thing is that college is struggling because you don't have all the high profile players that you used to have because they're leaving for the NBA early. But if they never go to college and they could make themselves 50,000, that could change the game. That could definitely be something that could be trending. Now I'm thinking way too far ahead, on this, but I kind of spoke about this in another episode. What happens if you get a lot of guys that would have been one and done, and they decide, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and go and play the 1 year in the G League? How many people would go see that game? That's what LeVar Ball was trying to do. I think that was the whole model that as far as like what he was trying to do is that, you know what? Let me get all these guys, pay them a decent amount so that they don't go to college. They don't have to take any money underneath the table. They don't have to worry about any violations. They don't have to worry about school, going to class because they don't want to go anyway. I'm just being honest. I know people may not like me saying that, but I'm just being honest. There are kids and some of them are pushed by their own family members. Man, what you need class for, man? You're about to be a millionaire. You're about to go to the league. You this, you that. This could obviously be something that changes college basketball more than anything. Just by a little increase. Because who wouldn't want to take a kid out of high school that was a top 10 recruit? You get them in your program, and then you get to work with this kid. You get to develop them. I don't know exactly how the whole G League contract works. I honestly, you have to, I'm sure they own the rights to your contract. But this may be another avenue for teams to not have to go through the NCAA, not have to go through the tape of that, run it themselves, pay them a little bit, and develop the players. Shout out to my man Kicking It with Kesey. I appreciate you for dropping in here. And Ron, I see you as well. But we're talking about the NBA raising the G League salary. This could be a trend. This could be something that changes a little bit. It's not going to be for everybody. I still think you're going to have, a bunch of kids that will still go to college and everything. But this will probably be for definitely anybody that's a McDonald's All-American to think about. Like, wow, if this thing, like I said, if this thing gets up to 50,000, because they're talking about up to 35, if it gets to 50,000, and it's just like, I possibly could get that. I don't know. Again, maybe coming in as a new guy, maybe it's 40. But still, it's still something. It's a lot more than what these kids are getting now. Unless you really got some booster or some alumnus that is taking care of you. Very interesting. Very interesting. So I'm pretty sure Cleveland won. For those people who don't know, we were talking about that earlier. So now we got 2 games going on that will be, Houston and Minnesota just tipped off, and OKC and Utah is going on right now. So I just keep thinking, like, what could be the possibilities for, this whole thing of the G League raising their salary. So we're going to get off that, and we're going to touch into some football news, because we know we got to go there. To the NFL is always dibbling, dabbling, and next week, ladies and gentlemen, next week, when you're listening to this show, we're going to be talking about the NFL draft. I said NF. NFL draft. That will, at that point, will be going on tomorrow. You'll hear me saying that next week. That is going down. We're going to start finding out about who got who drafted who got traded. What's the next move for, some teams? And one of the people that is, I think, that's going to be affected by this draft is Dez Bryant. We already talked about him, being cut, and we talked about places that Dez could go. Well, what could be some places that Dez should not go? I think that is very important. We have seen guys leave teams and go somewhere else, and it just did not work out. And we had a perfect example of that last year with Adrian Peterson. He left Minnesota. Obviously, they were done. They had moved on because they drafted Dalvin Cook and they signed Latavius Murray. But he went to New Orleans and he had visited some other teams, and it just wasn't the right fit. And those are some of the same things, that Dez has to look out for, is that there are some teams, as much as you would love, maybe to go there or anything like that, there are some places that you shouldn't go, attend, work at, or however way you want to say it. There's some places you should stay away from. And I got 3 places that he should stay away from. And I'm glad Kevin Gray is in here from Clutch Talk Sports, because he is a Cowboys fan, so he doesn't miss Dez. And Kevin Gray is responsible for Dez getting cut. Spread the word. Tell everybody. Yes, it was Kevin Gray. But 3 teams. Here's 3 teams. First team is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I know some people said, have them go there. Baltimore, can make it work and all. No. Baltimore is not a place that I would want Dez to go, or Dez shouldn't want to go either. You have a quarterback in Joe Flacco who has not shown anything. Everyone keeps saying, Joe Flacco, the long ball. Dez doesn't do the long ball. Not like that. That's why they got John Brown, Also, they got Michael Crabtree. Everyone looks at Michael Crabtree as not a fast receiver. Same thing with Dez. They look at him as not a fast receiver, not a guy that can stretch the field. Some people even look at Dez as saying that his route tree is not that great. So what all I'm saying is that you might be getting the same player to a certain degree with Crabtree and Dez Bryant. And you have a quarterback who has not, I'm not in, because your money is your money. I don't care. That's what you negotiated. That's what they said they were going to give you. Hey, if it was a problem, they shouldn't have gave him the money. So I'm not going to say anything about Joe Flacco's money. But as far as Joe Flacco's performance after the Super Bowl, it has not been great. Not all of it is his fault, but a lot of it is going to fall on him because he is the quarterback. So, Dez, do not go to Baltimore. Because all you're going to do is get upset, you're going to blow up, and it's going to be a problem. And Kevin Gray is threatening me on the chat line. Watch your tone, Jelani. He told me, watch your tone, Jelani. And I'm sure that's how he put an emphasis on tone. Watch your tone, Jelani. Don't make me call in there and get with you and Lopan. Kevin, brother, all I do is report what was given to me. Sources say. That's all I'm saying. Sources say. Spread the word, Kevin Gray. Sources say that you were responsible for that. But, if you say you're not, all right, fine. Now he's talking about Lopan can get these hands. Lopan, did you hear that? Did you?
Indeed.
Okay, so Lopan, all I'm saying is you already were beefing with Big L. Y'all, it seemed like y'all came to the truth. That died down. That went away. I think that was all on wax and everything. But Kevin Gray is talking about Lopan. You can get them hands. Lopan, what do you got to say to that?
Indeed.
Lopan, do not invite people in for fisticuffs. That's not what we do here, okay? That was your old life. We don't do that anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't do that anymore. I never did it. Everybody know I'm a lover, not a fighter. So that's that life. You need to let that go, okay? Don't let Kevin take you back to that life.
Indeed.
Okay, calm down. I've seen your handwork, Lopan. It is very indeed.
Indeed.
Okay, all right. Now let me get back to Dez Bryant, because you about to get in a fight. Stop it. So the Ravens, Ravens are a team you shouldn't go to. Second team you should not go to is the Cleveland Browns. And simple more than anything. They look like they are in the position of turning this franchise around. I'm not saying that they're going to the Super Bowl or anything like that, or they're going to be some dynasty, and everything like that. But with the moves that they made, getting Jarvis Landry, and they signed Jarvis Landry to that extension. They signed Josh Gordon to a tender, if I remember right, and they got Corey Coleman. They got Njoku as their tight end. They got Tyrod Taylor as their quarterback. We know should be drafting another quarterback. They could be getting Saquon Barkley, which we will be talking about him in just a moment. And, it's just the last thing you need is to bring someone in where they're going to bring the media in with them. We already know, and Kevin, I'm sure he will attest to this, if there's one thing that will get Dez's GOAT is losing and how they lose. It's not like he's going to go out there necessarily and say, it's your fault. It's your fault. This, that, and the third, or anything. But it is how sometimes Dez handle it. And it's like it goes on deaf ears because sometimes people get tired of hearing about it. And that's the last thing that you need is Dez coming in there. And if they start losing games again, Dez is like, what am I doing in here? I don't think he would go there anyway because he's trying to get with someone that's contending. But the Browns is someone that you would think they might be interested because they're trying to get anything and everything that they can get. But don't go there. I don't care what they say. Don't go there. Last place. Chief is not in here, but the New York Giants. I know Dez has said that he wanted to go to the Giants. I know there is, of course, a personal vendetta that he has against the Cowboys. And I know going to the Giants would give him the opportunity of seeing the Cowboys twice in a season. I know all this. The other thing that I know is that you cannot not have. Eli can handle it. Eli can handle it because his facial expression don't ever change. Nothing changes with him. But you can't. I just talked about the media that comes along with it. You're going to Cleveland, you're bringing the media with you. Going to New York, you're bringing the world with you. Everyone in New York would be losing their mind. And you have Dez, who is very passionate, to go along with Brandon Marshall, who is very outspoken. And I guess Brandon Marshall would probably have to get cut to make room for Dez. But then you're going to put him with Odell Beckham. We already know Dez don't like it when he ain't getting the ball. Not that he complains. I'm not saying that he complains. But he doesn't like not getting the ball. When he was in Dallas and Terrence Williams was his teammate, and Terrence Williams was the number 2. Dez ain't coming into New York being the number 1 option. Dez may not even be the number 2 option if Evan Ingram take off like they expect him to.